Hello, hello, hello again. Welcome to Team Double Draw. Today we are adjusting the deck. We will put Han1 green in a place so we can do well at our next PQ. It's now right after the Tilburg sector, and the meta has shifted a bit, or it has given a clear picture what we have to expect, what we have to be ready for, and now we know what we have to beat. Yeah, it's Han1 green time again. I took down a PQ with this deck and made top 8 the week after, and after that I had a break from competitive play and from the deck altogether. I also didn't feel too comfortable in the meta full of Kira and Yoda. It's not that those matchups are not winnable, but they are hard and I don't like them that much. I prefer a more aggressive meta for Han1, and that's exactly where we are coming back to right now, I think. We have Han2 ECL as the absolute top deck of the format, I guess you can say so, after Tilburg. And we have some small aggressive Tarkin Town decks that try to attack the Han2s and go even under it. And that's where Han1 feels comfortable, I think. I think we have a lot of good matchups to expect. And it's my comfort pick, so I've chosen to run Han1 again for the next PQ. But we did some adjustments for the current state of the meta. Yeah, and we are going to go about them right now. First of all, this is my my list back from the beginning of December, week 1 SEC, that took down the PQ. It's a very stock list. Not much to say about it at all, I think. No surprises. And it did very well at the time, but now we need some adjustments. I will look at 2 matchups especially now, and I'll talk about the aggressive decks in a whole for a brief moment, and then we will see the new list. And the main matchup we have to look at, of course, it's Han2 ECL. We saw Zip taking down the sector in Tilburg. Congrats. Really well played if you saw the games. And now we know what we will face in our next tournaments, right? I guess it's no surprise that the best deck, that's one a big thing, is going to be played a lot. It was already before, and now it's absolutely proven to be the top dog. Alright, so Han2 ECL is strong because of Wrecker and Poe, mainly out of the ECL, or Poe even on the 4 resources turn. That's just an absurd power play. You need to be as ready as possible for that. Even sometimes you can't be ready for it, but we need to prepare for it. And with the new version of Zip and Beton, we have a strong space focus, especially with the 3 heroic arcs. Those are really good, also against us. And together with the Sabine's masterpiece out of the ECL, combined with a red or a green unit, they have strong tools for space. And usually the plan is to get in early damage via space and then finish you on the ground with in their flip turn, probably with their Poes and Wreckers. And yeah, we need to be ready for that. We need to be ready for the General's Blade, because otherwise we get out-tempoed even by a turn 1 Gungi into turn 2 Blade, probably. And we need to play around the Jam Syndulas. And yeah, if we watch out for those things, the matchup is actually quite playable. What do we have to do to beat them? Actually, the game plan is quite easy. It sounds easy. We try to raise them. We have 5 health more on our base. And yeah, we need to take advantage of of the busted things we can do. We can't play units earlier every turn because that will take our hand apart completely, but we can do it even better playing 2 resources ahead, and that's what we gotta work towards. So what's general lines against Han2? I think, in my opinion, you can't ramp with your hand leader ability outside of turn 1 and the turn you wanna flip. Otherwise you just give him a free jam and you almost never beat that. You can probably, you shouldn't even ramp turn 1. I think you can maybe play unit turn 1, then ramp, and then go into flip. But you bank on him not having jam then. But it's always a gamble against Han 2 because you need to take one gamble anyway. Because how we best beat it is in space. So we need Hauler or even better Falcon turn 1, and we wanna put in a Han Solo turn 2. So we can either clear their space without taking damage, or we put a lot of pressure with a big enough body and space that they can't clear with Heroic Arc with ECL that hits for 6. So if we survive that with a unit in space, we are ready to win the game. And yeah, it sounds quite easy, but it's still hard. We bank on them not hitting the outer rim constable, otherwise that also maybe it gets in for damage 1 or it clears 1 unit, but it's not the auto win. It's never auto win against Han 2. But that's our main game plan. And the thing we need to take care of is not giving him a good record target in his turn. So maybe start ignoring the ground at one point, or watch out for the hit points on your units. You don't want to get overwhelmed by 6. That's the way to lose. If you can, deny that. Yeah, and that's... we will see in the list later how we adjust our deck, but that's the main plan into Han2 ECL. And it's working quite okay, I guess. The other matchup is, of course, Yoda. Yoda is here to stay. It was the number 1 deck before Han2 ECL, and it is still a top 2 or 3 deck, in my opinion, because it's super solid. It has insane ramp. It has one of the best leader flips. And it's playing the crazy blue-green value shell. That's hard to beat if you go too late. And that's why we attack it early, and we attack their sentinels that help them slow down their game. That's what we gotta beat. That's mainly village protectors and typhos. And of course we need to be ready for Luke later as much as you can be. The Bo-Katan is always strong, but it's not the strongest against us, so we don't need to worry about that too much. And we even try to be ready by the turn they can put it down. How are we attacking Yoda? First of all, you hard mull for mulligan, for resupply, if you don't have a hand that can go turn 1 ship into turn 2 Chewie. Because in the end, 90% of the Yoda decks are Datavault decks, and they play 2 confiscates or 2 traitoresses, and that's their only tool against Chewie in a ship. And I think if the luck gives us a hand that says go for it, we go for it. Sometimes they get it, so they get it with the confiscate. It's not even that bad, and we may even hit their face twice. We are happy then if we combine that with ramp or a good flip turn. We are in a place where we can beat them. And yeah, that's our main game plan. Go space with Chewie cheese in the best case, or go for ramp turn 2 and for a strong early turn 3 flip, because Yoda usually can't handle the flip. The only thing he can do to make your flip awkward is putting down a typho, and that's what the Dapper is here for, and the blue leader. We want to keep them. We want to put them down when we deploy. So we don't go for a 7 drop immediately. Usually we go for a 5 or for a 6 drop, clear that hypho, then we deploy, hit face, and we are ready for our 7 drop the next turn and have a broad white board that Yoda has problems with. And we combine that with break in, and that's the verse surprise strike. It gives +2 damage, but it gives Saboteur for this phase. And that's where we can swing with our Kellerans or Hans through their wall and finish the game. Same goes for Cunning. After sideboard, we tap down their restorers like Yoda and Luke and make sure we win the race. Yep. So you try to go space. You try to clear the ground as much as possible. You clear their sentinel when you flip. And you try to make Yoda's flip awkward. So best case, he has no board. He can't activate his hero ability before flipping and has to do it blindly and maybe not even remove our biggest hitter. And then we have some spice in the sideboard. Choose sides. I want to try this. It might not even be that good. But I think Yoda doesn't have the biggest hands and he always is also low on cards. So if we can take their Luke, maybe, the turn they bank on stabilizing with it, sounds good to me. I want to try it. Let's see how it works. Alright, and that's the two most important matchups. And as I've said, I expect some decks that want to go under Han2, so aggressive decks. You know, we all know Sabine. We love to face Sabine as Han1 green, go for Hauler and win the game. And we also do like the other aggressive decks. Mainly that's Sabe Tarkin Town right now, I think. Or even Sabe Yellow. That's not so easy. Sabe Tarkin Town is better for us. We play it almost the same as we play into Sabine. We try to outrace them with the better space. You just need to take care for Tarkin Town if you play Sabe Tarkin Town. Don't get your Hauler sniped turn 1, so it's better to go Falcon into Han Pilot again, what already is our plan against Han 2. And we even optimize the deck for that, so we are not afraid to meet the aggro decks. Alright, what does the final list look like? It's this one. So what's special? We have one Confiscate main to fight your random upgrades, your pilot leaders, or even maybe shields. That's what it's here for. Mostly a good tempo play because it's cheaper than what the enemy spent for his upgrade. And then we have, as I've said, the breaking ins instead of the surprise strikes to surpass Yoda's sentinels. We are heavy in space. We go 3 blue leaders, 3 fast falcons, 2 clown car falcons, and 3 haulers, and even 2 big falcons. It's just an insanely good card. It's even a good play on the 6 resources turn, because we need to have good plays if our flip gets disrupted or our leader gets killed the turn after. So we need to continue with a 6 drop, and that's why we have 3 of them in total. And we have 3 Han pilots, because that's the way Falcon into Han pilot is how we win Han2 ECL and how we win Sabe Tarkin Town. That's why those are 3. And as I've said, I've 1 Dapper main because it's so good against Yoda. It has deserved a slot in the main deck, and because of this extra play I just described. That's mainly the list. The rest is basic. I like the big Han more than Qui-Gon because I prefer the six defense over the 5 of Qui-Gon. So this trades a Poe, this trades a Wrecker, even without taking damage. And yeah, you don't want to swing a Qui-Gon into an empty board with 1 threat. Even if it can clear Luke, that's the big advantage. But I found the big Han to be better. In the board, we have second Confiscate, 2 Bamboozles, basic stuff. Try and 1 blue ace because I wanna fight Han2, maybe even more in space. So we have another answer for the arcs and the red 5s. That's also good in the mirror. We have the 2 Cunnings, we have 2 Kiras. We bring those in against, don't know, decks that play Yoda ECL, I guess, maybe control decks where we try to be faster. Yeah, whenever it seems good to brick your opponent's turns. We have the second Dapper for Yoda mainly, and we have the true sides that we will try against Yoda and maybe even some bigger control decks. Taking a Devastator sounds fun. Let's see if that works out. And that's our list. That's what we will try. And we'll try to top 8 another PQ. Yeah, let me know what you think of the list. Let me know your tags. And let's have a talk about Han 1, I guess. Thanks for watching.